Hold up. Wait a minute.
Bruh.
Did you hit the like button? Drop some rabbits in the chat. Let's go.
Hit that like, hit that like. Welcome to the chat. Let's chit chat, hit chat. Hit that like, hit that like. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Drop some rabbits, drop some rabbits, drop some, drop them, drop them, drop them, drop them. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Drop some rabbits, drop some rabbits, drop them, drop them, drop them, drop them. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Drop some rabbits. If you want the tea, come see me. Rabbit hole is the place to be for real news, not fake news. Celebrity news, breaking news around the clock. Real talk, best on the block. I rock, I rock, I rock, I rock. Real talk, best on the block. I rock, I rock. Hit that like, hit that like. Welcome to the chat. Let's chit chat, chit chat. Hit that like, hit that like. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Drop some rabbits, drop some rabbits, drop some, drop them, drop them, drop them, drop them. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Drop some rabbits, drop some rabbits, drop them, drop them, drop them, drop them. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Drop some rabbits. True crime is my specialty. Exposing the industry. Unsolved mysteries. Sticking to reality. Fair use commentary. Talking about cults. Trying to get results. Exploring hopes. Exploring. Researching. Debunking. Investigating. Being nosy. Super nosy. Being messy. Being shady. Rabbit hole news. That's me. The chick with ADHD. Unmedicated. But quite educated. Hit that like. Hit that like. Welcome to the chat. Let's chit chat. Hit chat. Hit that like. Hit that like. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Drop some rabbits. Drop some rabbits. Drop some. Drop them. Drop them. Drop them. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Drop some rabbits. Drop some rabbits. Drop them. Drop them. Drop them. Drop them. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Drop some rabbits. Hit that like. Hit that like. Let's go. Let's go. Let's start the show. Let's start the show. Let's start the show. Let's start the show. Let's start the show.
It said, let's start the show. And I'm like, wait, don't start the show. I'm not ready. I'm not ready. Let's do it all over again. Shout out to everybody in the chat, guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. Let's start the show. I say, no, girl. I'm not ready. Not yet. Not yet. Not yet. Not yet. Welcome. Shout out to everybody. Look at everybody here. Welcome, guys. Happy Sunday. Oh my gosh, July 19th. Happy New Year to whoever is having to restart all over again, because there's nothing wrong with doing it all over again, restarting. What did Aaliyah say at first? If you don't succeed, dust yourself off and try again. There's something behind those words, okay? So keep that in mind. You said the fries ain't ready yet. The fries ain't ready yet. I know. Baby Buddy's not here, and I'm so happy. Like, ooh-wee. Sitter got her for a couple hours. So I'm like, all right, cool. Yeah. Happy New Year to everybody who is starting new today. Yes, it is what? 7 months in the year, okay? And there's nothing wrong with starting new. Instead of Christmas in July, no, actually, I do have some Christmas in July to do, actually, because I miss Christmas because I was so busy, but that is okay. I'll be doing some Christmas in July for some people that they know who they are. But yes, but anyways, welcome everybody. Welcome. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Barbara Bish, guys, make sure you guys are hitting the like button. Let the people know. I said I was going to start like 30 minutes. Yeah. So I'm like, no, Baby Bunny's gone now. So I'm going to start now and, kind of get things going. Welcome everybody. So I don't know if notifications went out. If you guys received a notification, let me know. Let me know in the chat, because I need to start tracking these notifications. Maybe I need to do a poll. Actually, did you receive a YouTube channel notification? Let's see. I should do a poll on that, because yes, no. All right. Let's do that. If you received a YouTube notification, put a 1 in the chat if yes, put a 2 in the chat if no. I need to start tracking those. You did, Dee? Wow. Okay, that's good. Thank you, YouTube. Wow, because sometimes they don't notify, and I be live and people don't get notified. So I have to kind of make sure. And I got to keep track of this kind of stuff and whatnot. But before we get started, we got a lot of stuff to cover, okay? A couple things I want to talk about is I'm going to start. I always forget. I do forget. I mean to do it, but I forget. I need to start. First of all, shout out to my members, but I need to start putting in, because people do send me emails about like what products I wear and stuff like that. And I'm not really good at letting y'all know. I'm not trying to gatekeep anything. If I can tell you where there's a coupon for something or what to do, I will tell you. Back in before YouTube, I used to love to coupon. When my middle child was in diapers, that's what I would do. I would coupon all kinds of diapers, and I haven't couponed in such a long time. And I kind of wish I would get back into it, because it can be a headache, but it's actually a lot of fun. And when you get into it, I don't know why, maybe it's my ADHD. It kind of gets me going. I used to have bulks and bulks of diapers and laundry detergent and things I didn't really need. But when the C-19 hit, y'all wouldn't even believe how much stuff I had that I didn't even know that I used during that time. It was so weird how all of that, it is very time consuming. I will say that, but I'm not doing couponing. What I'm going to do is just tell you what products I use and stuff like that. Like somebody asked me the other day, like, hey, what lip color I'm using. And I was like, I need to start pulling them so I can tag them in here. So maybe I'll write them in the description box if you want to know what products I'm using. So like I always tell you, my eyeliner, I've been using the Benefit eyeliner. It's the roller pen. I'll make sure that I link it here. I don't know where it's at right now. I'll have to find it. I have my lip color, which is the Sephora Hippie Pink. The lip liner that I use is Brooklyn Thorn with what is it called? NYX. NYX is amazing. I love NYX. Hey Susie, how are you, love? I love NYX. I really do. I love all this stuff. I love the fact that it's so affordable, and you don't have to have, break the bank. I mean, some of the stuff, like y'all see some products up there, but like some of the stuff I really don't use often. I do have a lot of MAC, but I use it every once in a while. I feel like I use maybe the NYX and the, more affordable stuff a lot more than anything. Izzy, it's amazing. Couponing is harder now. There aren't as many coupons offered, and they're less of a discount. It's much easier now, though, because you can just copy and paste what YouTubers do. Interesting. Yeah, so I will do, I will put all the products that I use. Like somebody asked me about the hair dye. This color right here, Arctic Fox. Arctic Fox is amazing, by the way. I don't know them. Shout out to the company. I have used Arctic Fox. Froze. That's the pink that I'm using. Arctic Fox. Use it. I dye my own hair. I bleach my own hair. My mom actually, was it when I did the purple, she actually helped me out with the purple. But then after that, I said, I'm committed to learn, because my mom is having, like, she used to be a hairstylist. So I learned a lot from her, but she has a disability. So I don't like making her do anything. I have to figure out, so I've been watching her, so I've learned a lot from her. So that's how I do it. I do my own hair and everything. But anyways, I'll make sure I tag all those products in here, okay, in the description box, so y'all can definitely check it out. I'm loving the product promo. Well, I need to tag them because I don't do a good job at that. And that way you guys get the links from me. And yeah, shout out to my mama. Shout out to my mama. My mama's the one that taught me a lot about hair color. I mean, she's been about 30, 40 years, and she loves it. She's really good at it, but she's taught me a lot on how to do it. I like the rose goldish color. Yep. Rose. So yes, I'm going to start doing that. I got to start. And that way y'all can, hit the links in the description box. Yes. And hit the like button too. But anyways, I know your mama's in the, oh my gosh. I'm sorry, Sutsy. Y'all drop some hearts for Sutsy, whose mama has been in the hospital since Friday. Girl, oh my goodness. I'm so sorry. Man, oh man, I'll have to reach out to you. You said, LOL. Did you say, did you saw that? Did I see? It just did it on its own. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about what's been going on. We're going to talk about D4VD and everything that's been happening, because apparently some court restrictions have happened. By the way, speaking of court restrictions, I did get a jury summons. I'm supposed to show up to court, but it looks like 30 minutes before midnight on Friday, 30 minutes before midnight, I was reading into the jury duty in my area, right? And I found out that I get to, what is it called? A 6-month pass or something if I apply for it. So literally, I went on Friday, I went on their website and my number got selected for jury duty. So I'm supposed to report tomorrow morning, right? But apparently, if I apply for an exemption for like pick me in another 6 months because I got something going on like childcare or something, which I do, right? Because I do have to figure out childcare. Anyways, I'm able to join in the next 6 months. So I was able to get an extension. So I don't think I mean, I got the notice from the email. So yeah, I think I'll be okay. I don't think I need to go to jury duty tomorrow. But yes, you said, wow, impressive. Your hair looks professionally done. Yeah, I did it myself. You love it? Thank you. Let me see what you guys are saying. Anyways, so yeah. So I was able to, I got the what is it called? The exemption, something like the get out of jury duty card from Monopoly or something. What do they call it? They call it something. It's called jury postponement request. That's what it's called. And I was able to do it 30 minutes before midnight. And I was like, yes, I think I'm good. Because I wish I would have, I didn't read it. I'm just assuming that I have to show up. Last time I did jury duty and I was selected was in 2012. And I said, knowing my luck, I'll probably get selected. So let me just make sure that I postpone it because I got to be here for court. Like, I want to be here for this hearing. I want to hear what's going on. And yeah, so we going to be live. So we were able to figure that out. Anyways, jury duty can be fun. Oh, yes, I've been selected. I loved it. I loved it. I did. I'm not gonna lie. I probably would do it, but you know, I don't. The childcare is a thing for me, so I have to figure it out, right? So, anyways, so let's get it together. Let's get it together, guys, because we have so much to review. Speaking of court processes and procedural stuff, because there's been a lot that's been happening with the D4VD. You know, the airline ticket leaked. We have a lot of questions about that. We had an amazing panel. What was it on Thursday? Y'all, shout out to the people that hit the link because you guys are amazing. I personally feel like, I mean, it's, you know, I need to do panels more often because I love hearing from people that are subscribed to me. Like, and I want to. That is essentially the plan at some point that when I'm live streaming, we're doing, you know, panels more. But I love hearing from you guys because you guys have like, it's one thing for me to read your comment. And the comment, I mean, it hits a little bit different when you hear somebody's voice saying their comment or their opinion versus like, you know, just reading the comment. I feel like we get a little bit more, you know, context from that. And there's more to it. So I am going to be moving to a more panel live show once we get Baby Bunny potty trained. It's a work in progress, guys. Once we get her potty trained, and also once we're able to, you know, have her in daycare a couple hours. So you guys are going to see me. We're going to be live for a couple of hours, lots and lots of hours and whatnot. You said, Black America, hear me when I say this. In order to have people who look like us in jury pool, do not forego your jury summons. I beg you. Oh, okay. Shout out for Rabbit for sharing your platform. Yeah, I love the panels. I mean, it's something else, man. It's something else. Anyways, so let me go ahead and move on because we do have to move on. So, ticket. Let's talk about this real quick. So there hasn't been anything else behind this screenshot being leaked, right? And I find it so interesting. I didn't hear, like, TMZ is catching up to what to Asia news. Like, they finally did an article yesterday about Asia and whatnot, and what she said in the news, you know, in her video and whatnot, what she owned up to. They finally did an article about that. Okay, there's that. But they haven't talked about this. I was like, okay, well, maybe they're just like, well, we can't vet the information. That's why we can't talk about it, which is fine. I mean, hell, they put out information a lot, you know. They put out whatever information they want at times when they can't vet it. So I find it to be so interesting that they didn't talk about this airline ticket. I didn't see one article about the United airline ticket whatsoever. But a lot of us, I mean, we were a little bit stuck on this, and I mean, we just, no system is perfect. There's going to be loopholes, right? So I'm convinced that somehow Celeste was able to get to a different country. They were able to figure it out, fake signatures and all, or maybe she did have the consent of her parents. Maybe she did have other things going on. So something to keep in mind and whatnot. But yes, you said potty training is equal to the trips of 5. That's what I'm saying. Is like y'all, like potty training with this girl is just, it's a trip. But yeah, I'll have to say that. It's too much. It's too much. She's a trip. And yeah. You said I'm looking over here. Go just go past, go collect 200 coupon for being awesome. Thank you. Let's see. Hold up. I'm going to see D4VD. I'm convinced it was all bought and paid for. The ticket was? Yeah. Well, okay. So let's get into this little situationship. So they put a public notice. They, meaning the Superior Court of California, the Los Angeles County Superior Court, put up a notice. And I have not read this. I tell you, sometimes when I'm going to talk about something with you guys, I tend to just want to like, I'll look at it, but I'm like, if I'm going to have a reaction, a real one, I might glance at it, but I won't like read it. I'll tell you if I watch something. I'll say, well, I watched this, so I'm not too surprised anymore. But I do see that SF is like upset. So I'm like, okay, well, what's going on here? And people are having something to do with, they're having a reaction to this. So there's something about the restrictions that's happening here. So the people versus D4VD, or David Anthony Burke, information for the public. The court will hold a public lottery for public seats for the preliminary hearing beginning on July 21st, 2026. Now, let me stop right here. I'm not surprised that there is a public lottery. Do you guys remember in the Diddy trial, like there was, I don't think they did a lottery. Did they do like a ticket line? And then they couldn't fill in the seats in the Southern District of New York. So they went and they filled up like a backup room. And so there were a lot of content creators that were talking about the fact, well, we'll just go to the backup room, girl, because that courtroom it's like butt to gut. And I mean, it was so filled up and everything. And, people were getting upset. And then we would hear about the drama that was happening on the line where people were hiring people to take up a spot for another person. I mean, I think some of these people that are going to be there, you're going to have to be there at like 3, 2 in the morning if you are wanting to get in at 9:30. And if you want to be able to have a chance and a ticket. So I am not at all surprised. This is not for tomorrow. The hearing is on the 21st. So yeah, remember, Storm, you were here for this. Put a 1 in the chat if y'all well, no, don't put a 1 in the chat because I got this poll going. Let me end this poll real quick. Let me stop the poll. Let me do a new poll. Okay. Do you guys remember back when we were covering the Diddy trial? Now you can put a 1. Put a 1 in the chat if you guys remember where like tickets were like 1,000. Some social media personalities, I mean, they make money. They had money to pay somebody to sit in the line for like $1,000, $2,000 up in front of the line and cut in front of the line. Like they didn't even have to show up there. They just had like a ticket holder. And then you had the tents. You had the tents that were out there. People were like putting tents there. People were sleeping. Y'all remember the drama that happened. And even in the most like organized way, you still have drama that would happen. Like it's just how it is, man. It's how it is. But yes, I look up the reservation numbers and it said a receipt was sent to an email address on the file. Yes, Dark Triad. We did that. Was it Thursday? We tested it out and there was a receipt that was sent on file. We put in the confirmation code. I think that's what it was. You said, remember, it's not uncommon for lottery seating in high profile cases. I'm not understanding the issue. Am I misusing something? No, I don't think that it's an issue. We're just talking about how, like, that's how seating goes. I mean, we understand these high profile cases and they kind of get this way. Someone getting a lot of emails. I know, right? Like all those emails that are being sent there, y'all got to be careful because I know I tested it out during that live stream. You said, I was lucky. My 2 eldest were potty trained. Oh, you're talking about your potty trained. Shout out to you. But yeah, so there was a lot of drama during the Diddy trial over the tickets. So just kind of keep in mind, I mean, if you're planning to be over there, be there at like 2, 3 in the morning and be ready to sit there. When this is an all-day hearing, my understanding, right? Some of the people are going to be there, right? It is what it is. But for the and that's where Vicky, maybe that's where the upset is at. It's only 10 seats because for the Diddy trial, I know that there was more than 10 seats. Hold up, let me look this up. For the RICO case on the Diddy trial, how many seats? Because they had an overflow room, so there was a lot of seats. They were anticipating a lot of people available. How many seats available for the public? Let's see. Let me look this up. So here it is. There were about 36 seats, approximately 36 seats available in the main courtroom. Okay, that's the main courtroom where Diddy was at. But they also had the overflow room. How many seats in the overflow? Remember when Kanye West couldn't even get to the main courtroom? I think he had to go to the overflow room. So here it is. The overflow room had the capacity of 75 to 100 people. So they anticipated, people like want this being like the thing for the public, right? So yes, you say, Rabbit, I have not. I think Becky's going through some stuff, so I don't want to reach out to her to bug her about this. I'm a little concerned. I do want to just maybe send an email and see if she's doing okay, but if she's got something going on, I would not push her to go out there and get in there, if you know what I mean. Not only that, like we really got to get together and, send her some support, because for somebody to be out there, and that's what we did with people. Like people are out there, they're saving their seat, their neck is on the line over this, like, and it can get really it can get really real in these lines. Okay. Okay. So let's keep going. So it says the court will hold a public lottery for public seats for the preliminary hearing beginning on July 21st, 2026. A preliminary hearing in the case of the People v. David Burke is scheduled to begin at 9:30 a.m. on Tuesday, July 21st, 2026 in Department 105 on the 9th floor of the Clara Shortridge Foltz Criminal Justice Center. Excuse me. Let me cough. So they tell you where it's located. The preliminary hearing is scheduled to last 3 days. Please see below for the rules and guidelines on how members of the public may participate in the public lottery to obtain a seat in the courtroom. Oh, shoot. Okay, here it is. The courtroom will conduct a public lottery for 10 public seats and 10 standby seats for 7:30 to 8:15 a.m. The first floor lobby area of the Clara Justice Center on each day of the preliminary hearing beginning Tuesday, July 21st through Thursday, July 23rd. Oh my God. All approvals for courtroom seatings for the media have been distributed by the court's Media Affairs Division. No further requests for courtroom media seating will be accepted. Okay, hold up. All right. I may not be a fan of the fact that they don't have enough public seating, but I am a fan of the fact that they say all approvals for courtroom seating for the media have been distributed by the Court Media Affairs Division. No further requests for courtroom media seating will be accepted. So we are going to have media there, okay? It's not like it's a closed hearing. We are going to have media there. Is Brian Ensign going to be there? Listen, I'm down for the Brian. Shout out to the Gray Fox. I'm down for the Brian Ensign to be there. Okay, I really am, because I feel like at least we're gonna get some, some real stuff out there. Did you see this? Did I see what? Maybe they weren't expecting that D4VD was going to be so high profile, seen as minor artist. And it's not even that. I mean, it's like it's really like the crime, right? I wouldn't necessarily say, like I said, some of us, we don't even know D4V. I can't name you other than the songs that I've already listened to. By the way, speaking of D4VD, there was a gospel song that was uploaded too, with his mugshot. Did y'all see that? I don't know how I feel about that. Not that like the gospel song, but like, is that him? I don't think that's him uploading. I think that's somebody else uploading for him. And I'm a little concerned because if we're talking about, it would be one thing for him to say, well, I'm making money because I got to pay for the lawyer. It's another thing for another person to upload it. I don't know how I feel about that. I'll be honest with you. You said it is odd. No, I took before it disappears, it was uploaded on YouTube. Let me show you guys. I screen recorded some of it. And I don't know if I could play it here because if it's going to tag me or flag me or what. Look at this. It says D4VD Jesus, and it has his mugshot. And is this, let me see, because I know I recorded the song. I don't know if it'll flag me. Hold up. I mean, let's see if I can play it. I don't, again, I'm not, I think that he had a following, right? And I don't know if somebody is uploading for him because, there's artists out there like Tory Lanez, for example. They can drop a lot of albums while they're serving time. They can do that. But I just don't know if this is like a fan or if this is him. And I'm a little concerned. You said, I hate autotune. You think it's autotune? You said, I really wish they were streaming this on TV. They streamed the Tyler Robinson high profile. Well, I'm here for the fact that they have media there. So let's say that. Shout out to Strategic. He said he sped through the song on 2 speed. Interesting. I don't want to hear the song from a not talented singer. Wow. You said that's so messed up. How dare they? Auto-tune? Maybe he recorded that before. Oh, I don't know. Before he was locked up. Okay. So all approvals for courtroom seating for the media have been distributed by the Court Media Affairs Division. So you know that Court TV is going to be there. Maybe Law and Crime, TMZ. I mean, these are like the major outlets. Okay. TMZ is definitely going to be there, guys. You already know. No further requests for courtroom media seating will be accepted. Okay. Lottery tickets will be distributed from 7:30 a.m. to 8:15 a.m. Guys, so even though they have a time set for lottery tickets, you got to be the first in line. And if it's only 10 people, you have to be there at 2, 3 in the morning. Hell, you might as well just get your ass over there at 7 p.m. on July 20th and spend the night there. Spend the night on the street there. I mean, he'll be fine. I'm sure, or News Nation will probably be there. They're already planning. Because go now. Yes, go out there and spend the night over there now. I mean, come on now. No, because y'all remember when the Diddy trial, it was like people were already there. I mean, shout out to the content creators because they did an amazing job, with their coverage and stuff like that with the Diddy trial. But you had people out there. It was interesting. And then you had the people that had the money to pay for people to stand out there. You said that's crazy because there's no guarantee you'll be able to get in if you do all of that. They are only giving 10 tickets, which is ridiculous. I think it is ridiculous. I think that they should have had an overflow room. You know what I mean? Camp in the heat. Yeah, camp in the heat. I mean, at night, it kind of cools off a little bit, right? But yes, grab your grill. Yep. Go out there. I mean, I would do it if I was in my 20s, not in my 40s. So y'all, I'm old now, it hits a little bit different. But yes, you said Walmart is what? Okay, so some say it's possible a defense strategy of the song to try to get him off because his accounts are being hacked. Could be. We don't know who's downloading all this. You said, I still want to go and see it all. Me too. Sometimes I think it should be televised, honestly. But, that's just me. That is just me. Did you see? I did, The Boss Bitch. We covered it on Thursday. You got to check it. You got to check out our stream on Thursday, love. You said, got a Willy Wonka a gold ticket. Yep. 10 people. All right. So there's not going to be any issues there. You're asking for something to happen with this, but okay. So it says that 10 seats will be allocated through the lottery promptly at 8:15 a.m. Lottery winners will be issued badges, which will be worn at the time in the courthouse. The badges is valid only for the date issued. All right, here's my question about the lottery. So if you're one of the first 10, are you guaranteed a ticket? Or are you giving a ticket to the first 25 people? I'm just thinking out, and then you're doing a lottery. Or is it first come, first serve? Like, so I could be there at 2 a.m. and I could be number 4 and they didn't call my number. So I don't get in? Is that how this works? How would this work? I'm there and I'm waiting. I'm waiting. And how am I supposed to get it? Like, is that, do y'all see what I'm saying? It is sound crazy because it's one thing to do a lottery. If you say that if you're the first 10 people to stand in the line, you can get in, right? But you're talking about a lottery. You don't know how many tickets they're going to give out for this lottery. So if I've been waiting there from 2 a.m, and I don't get picked, but I was there for a ticket, I don't get in. That's what I'm saying is if you're doing a lottery, getting there early, it's not even guaranteed because you don't know what numbers. I mean, the only thing it's guaranteed is that you're going to get a ticket, but you don't know if you're going to be one of the 10 people called. Yeah, you'd have to be like this. It just kind of hit. Sorry, I'm a little slow and I haven't had my caffeine. It just kind of hit me, right? So I don't think this is a good idea. Right. You know, and clearly Shelly, because of the last time they ever recorded a trial was, my understanding was at the OJ trial. It's the only last time I had cameras in there like that. So I don't know if filing a motion, I think they got rid of that and they're not doing that anymore. See, yeah, no, you can't switch your tickets out. The only way, oh, this is going to be some mess, guys. That's going to be some mess. Because think about it. I could go out there and say, all right, I'm going to stand in the line, but I could bring 5 of my people. Let me bring 5 of my subscribers to go out there and stand with me to guarantee me a ticket. At least I know that my chances of one of the 5 getting picked for me to go, I'm there, right? This is going to be a mess. Yeah, but then if I don't get to go, then at least one of my subscribers gets to go as the public, right? And then they can report. This is a mess. Unless I can get the ticket. See, I can bring 5 people and have them stand in line with myself. This is going to be a mess. 3 days. 3 days of this? I don't think so. I don't believe so. You said people are going to pull out their grills and it's going to be crazy work out there, guys. But I just don't think that. I don't think we're going to be. This isn't going to go very smoothly. That's what I got to say about it. It's there's no way it's going to go very smoothly the way that they're doing this. Hold up, guys. Okay. And it further goes. Let's keep going. 10 seats will be allocated. Lottery winners will be issued badges. So 10 seats will be allocated through the lottery promptly at 8:15 a.m. Lottery winners will be issued badges, which must be worn at all times in the courthouse. The badge is valid only for the issue date. The winning tickets are non-transferable. Okay, so you can't switch it. You can't like exchange it. Oh, you can't exchange it. All right. Non-transferable, I think that's what that means. Anyone who attempts to transfer their entrance pass to another individual, there you go, will not be permitted to participate in the public lottery. 10 additional standby seats will be drawn. Seats will be allocated to standby seat ticket holders if space becomes available. Standby tickets do not guarantee a seat in the courtroom. Proceedings are scheduled to begin at 9:30 a.m. Seat holders must be on time for the start of the hearing or risk losing their seats. No photography, video recording is allowed in the courtroom or courthouse or in the lobby, including cell phones or pictures. I think everybody knows this. Cell phones must be turned off and kept out of sight. The public will be required to put their cell phones in their pouch, something pouch prior to the entry of the courtroom. Any person who is seated in the courtroom must remain silent during the proceedings and may not, through facial expressions or otherwise, indicate any reaction to the evidence or to any proceedings. Oh, that's going to be hard for me. Maybe that's why I have to stream live, because it's so hard for me not to have a reaction. There is no eating, drinking, or chewing gum allowed in the courtroom. Members of the public are also instructed to follow court general orders, expressive activity which restricts, demonstrates, distributes, solicitation, and other expressive forms of activity both inside courthouses and near courthouse entrance. About the Superior Court of Los Angeles, the largest trial court in the nation. Yeah, which is like, why can't we film in there? Okay. The Superior Court of Los Angeles County serves a population of 10 million and 36 courthouses, with the jurisdiction covering over 4,000 square miles, That includes 88 cities, 140 unincorporated areas, and dozens of law enforcement agencies. The court is steadfast in its mission to serve our community by providing equal access to justice through the fair, timely, and effective resolution of all cases. If you have questions, please email the following. Now, this is what SF had to say. This is what he had to say. The court is only allowing 10 members of the public into the preliminary hearing into the D4VD case. That is outrageous and not how public access to the court should work. There is supposed to be a reasonable balance between seating for the press and seating for the public. This is a large courtroom, yet only 10 seats are being made available to the public. So if it's only 10 seats, then you account for the family, you account for other lawyers and investigators. So are the rest being made for the media? Her family has not appeared previously and could be called as witnesses, so they shouldn't be in the gallery anyways. So they are not being held for that purpose. Okay. Not to mention, they are not allowing cameras even for testimony that doesn't include CP. Documents have been sealed throughout the case, and now access to the courtroom is being severely restricted. At this point, it feels like as though they're making up their own rules. Oof. Thoughts and opinions? That's a mistake. That stinks. Yeah, I'm not surprised. That's going to make people not want to go, which is probably what they're doing. But that's what they want to do. They don't want people to go, I guess. Seriously. You said no line sitters. Yeah. Oh, so you can't pay somebody to sit in the line for you? But why would you anyways if it's a lottery? I can't fix my face. I'm out. You said the drama's going to happen outside the courtroom again. I'm wondering about, because it did happen, there was a lot of stuff happening in the Diddy trial. So I don't know, man. You said the judge in the OJ trial blew it 100. What was the reason they stopped televising in the first place? I feel like it was suppressing the news. Oh, back in the OJ, I can't even remember. I mean, I was a child. They don't want overnight camping. Suits y stilettos. So like, if it's a lottery, I want to be there early enough, right, to get a ticket. But it sounds like I'm still guaranteed a ticket, even if I get there at 7:30. I'm not guaranteed entrance because they're going to do a lottery. So it wouldn't even matter if I get there and I spend the night there. Oh, Oli Mendo, that's the judge, is strict and probably wants to avoid the drama from her last trial. Oh, so her last trial was it the Danny Masterson? Protesting the protesters? Let me see. I want to say it was, but I could be making this up. Okay, so was there drama? Yeah, so there was the okay, here it is. Excuse me. So she presided over the retrial of Danny Masterson in 2023, okay? And then James Heap's trial in 2023. So it was a case of Dr. James Heaps, a former UCLA campus gynecologist. He was originally convicted of multiple S crimes in 2023, though the conviction was overturned in February 2026. Oh, Heaps later pled guilty in April 2026 and was resentenced to 11 years. Those are her two major trials. So there was drama outside. Could they not get that many people over the Danny Masterson? Interesting. I had no idea. See, Danny Masterson wasn't televised either. So, and I remember I talked briefly about Danny Masterson back in 2023. So she doesn't want people camping. Do you know if people are camping outside for Danny Masterson too? There's drama always, and that's expected, right? Oh yeah, the Diddy trial was, it's kind of like that. Like just expect it. Y'all saw it. Everybody was trying to push people into it. I'm not feeding into that ish. Y'all know how I am. I'm like, it's drama everywhere, honestly. OJ trial was crazy. I remember I was there. You were there for the whole thing. I had my boombox playing at the trial all day. Barbara Bitch, you were one of the people outside with the loud music. See, Barbara Bitch, Barbara Bitch is like, girl, I was outside with the boombox. Some of these young people don't even know what a boombox is. Tell the people what a boombox is. I went to the Goodwill the other day and I found this little like cassette player, and I had to tell my oldest what it was. I was like, this is like how does this work? It's a cassette player. What do you mean? But cassettes were already gone. They weren't, yeah, because he was born in 2008. We weren't reusing cassettes by then. So yeah, it's all CDs. So anyways, you said I can make a few arguments as to why they would make it this restricted. But this is a public courtroom and the public deserves access. As Americans, you have some very clear, honored laws about this. Okay. You said I'm old enough and I know what an 8-track is. You said for anyone who's thinking that this has to be a social media presence, apply for the, thank you. For anyone who's thinking of going and has social media presence, apply for the press accreditation with the court. You should qualify as independent media. They might evaluate your previous coverage to assess if you are a serious reporter rather than a troll. It's true. This way, you would qualify for a seat. Yeah, what other cases have you covered? I have not been to a courtroom. And you guys know I haven't been to a courtroom because why? Baby Bunny, I can't be taking her to courtrooms, There used to be a little boom boxes in our cars. It's interesting. Yeah, so you remember OJ too. I think I was either there, unemployed, or working part-time and then watching as much as I could. It was wild. Well, I was in grade school when OJ happened, so I can't tell you. Outside of the, I remember watching the news coverage of it, the white Bronco. I remember that. That was such an interesting time, But yes, okay. I don't know, Rachel. I do not know. You said always drama in the high-profile cases. Yeah. I expect it. Like I said, you're going to find pockets of drama everywhere. I just don't want to, y'all, like that shit is exhausting. I don't know. I don't like feeding into this stuff. Anyways, so people are, of course, the people are upset. Unbelievable. This is BS. Criminal proceedings are governed by the constitutional right of the accused and victims and aren't intended for entertainment and tragedy pimping, someone said. SF said, this is the stupidest statement on Twitter. That's not easy to accomplish. And then someone said, same thing happened with San Diego in the Millette trial. Oh, yeah. Was it Maya Millette? If there was any space, it would go to the media first, as I was told they were members of the public too. I saw some days that no members of the public got a seat, or maybe one, and legacy media was a priority. Legacy media is always a priority. I think it's a common practice that only certain media is allowed. Usually Court TV is one of them. Then local news reporters, first come, first serve. But really, public access shouldn't be all media. How many different reporters from the exact same hearing do we need? What do you guys think about that comment? That's an interesting comment. Someone said this isn't usually how things operate during cases, especially high profile cases. I'm guessing D4VD's team had something to do with this. I don't think D4VD team had anything to do with this. I think that this was a Los Angeles thing. Because protesting the protesters just said, I mean, they did it in the Danny Masterson trial, trying to keep the truth from the public. Only 10 people allowed. The 10 people stuff is, I don't get. They really should have an overflow room. Like, we're paying for those overflow rooms, guys. This is a taxpayer money. Make room for the overflow room. Oh, First Liberties. You're late. You're really late. Shout out to you. I don't know how. So who was it? Was it Linzer who said I enabled it? I just don't know how they work. So apparently there's like this thing where you can do jewels now. I don't know how it works. I don't even see it on my end, but apparently you can do jewels. However that works. Anyways, yeah, TikTok, YouTube has been copying TikTok in a lot. Well, okay, I'll give you the skinny and the mini real quick. So for those that are coming in late, and I'm sure a lot of people probably already know, they're doing a lottery for the D4VD preliminary hearing. And it's not like first come, first serve. It's a lottery, right? So we were talking about this. I said, if I was there, I probably would leave, I don't know, on July 20th, I'd be over there at 7 p.m. to go spend the night while I wait for a ticket, because that's how it was in the Diddy trial. But if it's a lottery, even if you get there at 7, or 8:15 or whenever the tickets are being released, you're not guaranteed that you're going to make it in because it's a lottery, right? And they're only doing 10 tickets, and then the rest is legacy media. So my thought is, like, they should really just open an overflow room. Why not? You already have, I mean, this hearing, even though it's not for the public, being recorded for television, it still should be in an overflow room where we're able to watch a lot of that, right? People, I mean, get a room where you can see, I don't know, an extra 175 people. So yeah, I mean, I said I would hate to camp outside and not win the lottery. That's what I'm saying. It's like you make it at 7 p.m., which is what was happening a lot in the Diddy trial. People were spending the night over there. But that was different. It was first come, first serve. And I think it was like the first 10 people or whatever. First 10 people. And then you're able to basically, get in. And this is why people would pay line holders. But then even if you couldn't get into the main courtroom, you could still get into the overflow room where they were, televising the hearing. So, and some people weren't even fighting to get in the main courtroom because some people wouldn't even be able to get to the court in there at all. You said, I would hate to camp outside for the days and not win a lottery, such as the gag order on the medical examiner. I wonder if they're worried about compromising other cases. I don't know. You said, I would assume a lot of it is because of the sensitive information about a minor, but also the fact that they don't want to publicize certain details. Only a few surprise witnesses. No, I think part of it too is maybe they just don't have the staff for another overflow room. Yes, the only Angie there was. So I don't know if it's necessarily about the details on her per se, or the details on the case. Because if that was the case, why even allow people to walk in? They would just have closed hearings. So I don't know. I don't think it's about that. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong. I don't think it's about that per se, but I don't know. I think it's just they don't want to deal with They don't want to deal with it, But But yes, you said, I feel like they should televise it in the overflow room. Interesting. I also work with the OJ's teammate from his football days, and he totally believed he was innocent. Oh, Lord have mercy. Okay. You said maybe they want to keep it tight-lipped in case D4VD gets charged with the feds. See, I don't think that they're trying to keep it. I don't feel like less people means tight-lipped, because the news is going to get out. If that's the case, they wouldn't have what's the word? They wouldn't have legacy media there. I think it's just they don't want to deal with the overflow room and the crowd and stuff like that, if you know what I mean. Hold up. Okay, so it seems like this is the case for every famous trial lately. We, the people, get to see bits and pieces they chose to show. It screams suspicious to me. Someone said that's bullshit. The courtroom should be packed to the hilt and televised for everyone to see. That POS D4VDs. Ooh. Okay, that's so wrong for the public, someone says. And if this is coming from the defense, it's not coming from the defense. I honestly think it is coming from LA County. Wow, that's incredible. I was going to suggest you get a media pass. I think SF already has one, though one of that shows you frequently guess, but I see that they fixated that. They fixed that too. So do they even care? I don't think they care. Someone said that's BS. I'm not surprised, guys. Said this is a shout out to Ms. Dizzle, who said this is absolutely absurd. I mean, people are having really heavy reactions to this, and you can't. What are you gonna do? We'll be live, okay? We'll be live and we'll be talking about it, but is that gonna change anything? Probably not at all. It's not. So we'll do our best to get the news. We'll be, one thing as streamers that we do, we tend to look everywhere while we're streaming, and we'll, do different things. Maybe I'll do a panel that day so allow people to hit the link as the news is coming in, so everybody will come in there. So remember the first time he had court, there was oh yes. Was that accidental, Morris? Because clearly it was not real, right? Like it just didn't happen. And let me hold up 1 minute, guys. I'm looking at my screen. I do apologize because I don't get any notifications for the jewels. That's really cute. Thank you. I see all kinds of things that are happening and I don't get any notifications. So let me shout out some people that sent some jewels, I guess, if I can see it. I'm going to need StreamYard to catch up on this. Hold up 1 minute because I don't want to not say thank you, but I'm new to it. So I do apologize. Let me see who sent. Shaz, is it Shaz? Thank you, Shaz, for sending some jewels. I see, sorry, I haven't to scroll. This is not productive if it's not showing up on my screen. Who else? Shaz, thank you. Appreciate you. I don't even know what that looks like, the jewels. Hold up. Who else? Some other folks sent. Okay, Nebby, thank you for sending flowers. Aw, Nebby sent flowers. Shout out to Nebby. And there was somebody who sent a soccer ball, and I don't. Oh, Soul Power, thank you for that. And I don't know. I need a different notification for this. You said reactions are so strong in the cases of the murdered children. Yeah, it shows in the chat, but I have a different chat in StreamYard, so I'm not always looking on the YouTube chat. But I guess I need to now. So shout out to you if you send. Thank you. You said, can you explain what's expected to hear in the preliminary hearing? Just confused, and I'm in the UK. Well, I mean, we're going to hear, and I think First Liberties, if you're in the chat, let me know. We talked about this pretty extensively. The arrest, what led to the arrest, maybe some details. Let me see. I think I have a list, actually, some notes in here. Hold up 1 minute. See if I can pull up my notes. We're going to hear, let's see, evidence. Prosecutors are expected to present, here it is, my notes. Prosecutors are expected to present whatever evidence and the volume of evidence with, anything that they have in there. And it sounds like they have 40 terabytes, what they have, the arrest, what led to the arrest, the evidence presented will likely include extensive digital forensics, such as text messages, phone activities, location, DNA. There's the other thing too. the autopsy report. Prosecutors allege, any devices that the prosecutors might have alleged, any CSAM material on the phones that could have been in there as well. Let me see. Excuse me. Prosecutors allege D4VDs contain significant amount of CSAM along with text messages, and defense will have the opportunity to cross-examine prosecution's witnesses and challenge the validity or admissibility of evidence to try to prove that there's insufficient cause for a trial to proceed. So it's kind of like it's a preliminary hearing. It's the first opportunity for us to really hear what is going on. Again, there's no cameras in the courtroom now. It's interesting because it's being labeled that due to the special circumstances surrounding the murder case and allegations involving an underage victim, the judge has denied media requests for cameras inside the courtroom. So we're really going to be depending on the 10 people. I just pray and hope that the 10 people that get selected are people that know how to report. Maybe a YouTuber might be one of the 10 or not. I don't know. What else? And they're able to report well and get the details of what we need. If Brian Enton is out there, I know he's going to get us the news, so that'd be great. But yeah, I don't know if Brian Enton's going to make it. I'm thinking in my mind that he is going to be out there. So admissibility as well, if they have enough to go forward with the trial. So possible outcomes: if the judge determines that there's probable cause, the defendant will be formally bound over for trial. He has previously pled not guilty to all the charges, which include first-degree murder with special circumstances, CSAM, and of course the I have to be careful how you say this word, but mutilation of a body, and whatnot. Now, I want to say this too. Hold up. Let's see. You got Good Morning America here that's speaking as well. I also want to talk about the fact that Emily D. Baker did do some coverage on this, so I have not even watched that, and it was on my list. Put a one in the chat if you watch Emily D. Baker's coverage on D4VD.
New details in the murder case of singer David, due back in court this week to face charges of killing a 14-year-old girl who authorities say was found dead in the trunk of his car. And this morning, some are asking whether the Los Angeles District Attorney will seek the death penalty against the 21-year-old singer if convicted. LA District Attorney Nathan Hochman speaking out on the case in April.
A parent's nightmare is a situation where your daughter goes out one night and never comes back.
Saying he is weighing all his legal options.
Well, the death penalty is reserved for the most heinous crimes. There are special circumstances that have been pled in the complaint by the prosecution that gives it, under California state law, an opportunity to seek the death penalty.
David, whose real name is David Burke, is accused of luring Celeste Rivas Hernandez, a 7th grader at the time, to his Hollywood Hills home in April 2025, where prosecutors say she was stabbed to death. He has pleaded not guilty.
I media trained you.
Authorities believe Celeste, seen here with Burke on a live stream in 2024, was a witness to his alleged sex crimes and say he was trying to protect his blossoming career. David, who once had 40 million monthly listeners on Spotify, canceling a world tour shortly after authorities discovered her body. The singer's preliminary hearing is scheduled to start Tuesday, where prosecutors will present their evidence and eyewitness testimony. A judge will decide if there's enough to proceed to trial.
Preliminary hearing is a very important step in this criminal process, and particularly for the public, it's going to give us a lot of information about the evidence.
Again, David has pled not guilty and is behind bars this morning. His attorney previously saying in a statement that the evidence will show David Burke did not murder Celeste Rivas Hernandez and he was not the cause of her death. Gio.
So many watching this case. Jacqueline, thank you so much.
Ooh, yes, so many. Okay, so yes, she did talk about it. I was like, I know I'm not making this up. Shout out to Emily Baker. So listen, first of all, talk about this lady is just amazing. I love her breakdowns. I mean, breaking things down. The queen of law tube. I would probably put her at that. Shout out to Emily D. Baker. She really does it. And I mean, I haven't seen so much of the purple, but I love it when I would watch her. She had the purple hair, and I'm like, I need to get me the purple hair. Yes, and also it helps that she was a former prosecutor. I mean, I'm here for it. I'm here for it. And yep, Emily D. Baker's face does not lie. Yeah. Gotta love her. Gotta love her. Ooh, Miss Dizzle, that is a fantastic question. Is Esmeralda going to be a witness? Huh. Wonder about that too. I wonder if she's going to be a witness too. Definitely. And Annika, thank you so much for gifting a member. Thank you, thank you, thank you. First of all, shout out to everybody that's been like Soul Power. Thank you guys for the flowers. My goodness, Soul Power. Thank you. Soft TMI. I see him now. Okay, thank you. Now I'm able to differentiate. I'm able to see them now. Thank you so much to 707 is it California or California? California. I like the name for the jewels. Thank you guys. Again, I'm getting used to this. I'm not too familiar because they don't pop up over here, but they pop up here. So thank you, thank you. I hope I don't miss anybody. Soul Power, thank you. Soft TMI, thank you, thank you. All right, cool. I think maybe I caught up with everybody. Hopefully I didn't miss anybody. That's so cute. You'll never be me. Thank you so much for the jewels. I appreciate you. Oh man, they need to make these bigger because I can't see them. It's either that or I'm going blind. Pick one. And also, thank you, Annika and Dee Dee, who also gifted memberships. Y'all, if you've been gifted, put some hearts in the chat. Aw, thank you guys. Put some hearts if you've been. There's a lot of gifters in here. I better see some put some hearts in the chat for the gift. Those who received a gift. Thank you. Thank you, Dee Dee. I appreciate you. And thank you, Annika. Thank you. All right. Let's get it together, guys. I kind of want to see. I want to see what the Queen has to say.
It seems that the preliminary hearing will be going forward. Neither side has moved to continue. The court has set aside numerous court days for this preliminary hearing. Remember, David is charged with special circumstances murder for the death of Celeste, who was 13 at the time.
Wait, did I really say farts? I said hearts? Y'all heard I said hearts. You guys clean your ears. I didn't say fart. Well, thank you for the farts. Put some farts in the chat. I know I said hearts. I didn't say farts. Yo, yeah. More than one person said that I said farts. Well, damn. Excuse me. I don't know how to put farts as a reaction. How would you put some hearts in the chat? Don't put farts in the chat. Thank you. Y'all going to be dropping some farts in the chat. Please stop. And Lois, thank you so much for the jewels. I appreciate it. Thank you. Greek lady, thank you for the jewels. Thank you. All right, I'm seeing them now, but again, thank you all. All right, my cat just farted. Ew. You know when animals fart, it's so gross. Like they stink. Tell me how I know. I got a poodle and he farts all the time. Anyways, let's get into this commentary, guys.
And after numerous continuances, it seems that the preliminary hearing will be going forward. Neither side has moved to continue. The court has set aside numerous court days for this preliminary hearing. Remember, David is charged with special circumstances murder for the death of Celeste, who was 13 at the time when she was killed. The prosecution has alleged that that was a special circumstance murder for pecuniary gain, monetary gain, and the killing of a witness, alleging, as I have covered elsewhere, that Celeste was going to expose the relationship that she was having with David, or that he had groomed her into, and she was threatening to blow up essentially his music career. Prosecutors allege that he murdered her to silence her in that, to maintain that career, which is the monetary value. But they were back in court. The defense and prosecution have discussed that much of the discovery has now been turned over, that the discovery that's going to be going forward in the preliminary hearing has been turned over, and the court set some dates. I am looking at an article from LA Magazine. They have had reporters in the courtroom at all of these hearings saying that Deputy District Attorney Beth Silverman estimated that the preliminary hearing would take 5 days or less. Judge Olmedo set the schedule for July 21st and 22nd at 9 a.m., July 23rd and 24th at 9:15 or 9:30, July 27th at 9 a.m., and then July 30th and 31st at 9 a.m. if needed. The court noted that July 29th may be dark, which means the court probably has other things that would interfere with that day. And then DA Beth Silverman told the court that she would be out of town July 31st, but didn't anticipate the preliminary hearing lasting that long. Defense attorney Blair Burke told the court that the defense has received a substantial amount of digital discovery, all of the detectives' written reports. Burke said that prosecutors mentioned
Okay, y'all need to stop playing with my mind. Let me tell you something. You know, Emily's wearing a hat that says facts. Tell me why I read farts. Yo, I did. I didn't mean it. I meant to say hearts. Hearts and farts. Yeah, look at her hat. Doesn't it say fart too? Y'all, this chat stinks. Y'all made my chat stink. Look at her hat. Is it just you guys are messing with my mind. It says facts, but if you look at it, I read it in the first, like, it said fart. No, I don't. I don't want to change the title. No, but it's crazy. It's because you want to see it. Well, no, look at the Joe Mama, look. It looks like farce. See what I'm saying? Is it farce or facts? F-A, and then it's a C-T-S, right? I swear my mind is like playing games on me now. Lord have mercy. Y'all need to stop.
Not every piece of evidence may be produced because of the volume of the digital material. She told the court that they assured the defense that it had received all evidence deemed relevant, which means there may be things coming in, but those aren't things that the prosecution will seek to use at the preliminary hearing. The parties told the court that they reached an agreement on a protective order covering the handling of evidence, which will be submitted to the court for approval. That makes sense. We know that there are sensitive images of the victim in this case, among other digital discovery based on the prosecution's written motions. The defense also brought up in that hearing whether or not defendant David would be restrained or shackled during the hearings. The court said that she wasn't going to address that on July 7th, but if the defense wanted to file a written motion, that they were welcome to do so, and the court would then consider it. Oftentimes you see, especially when cases are televised, that the defendants are not shackled so that it does not seem as if they were already guilty. It's meant to neutralize the defendant's presence in the courtroom, particularly in front of a jury, or if cases are televised, in front of potential jury. However, at a preliminary hearing, that's not an issue, because at a preliminary hearing, there is no jury. A preliminary hearing is not a trial. It is a finding of probable cause. It is a limited hearing. Sometimes you will have civilian witnesses. Often you will just have law enforcement witnesses who will establish the probable cause, that is, did this defendant most likely commit the crimes that are being charged here? It is a threshold hearing for the case to move forward to trial. In a lot of jurisdictions, this is done at a grand jury proceeding where a grand jury passes down an indictment. A preliminary hearing is different in that the defense is a part of the preliminary hearing. They can make objections. They can cross-examine witnesses, where at a grand jury, it is just the prosecution putting on evidence. But the rules of evidence are still somewhat limited at a preliminary hearing. The judge is the finder of fact there. The judge is the finder of probable cause. There are differences in the way the rules of evidence work at that probable cause hearing.
Different. So, okay. She says that there is a difference in how the rules of evidence apply at a preliminary hearing. We're not having a full trial. The judge is going to decide whether what is being presented by the prosecution is enough to move forward with the trial. But there are rules that need to be applied, right? So like, okay, so let me let her finish, because this is interesting.
And it is to function to bind over a defendant for trial and ensure that there's enough evidence to do so. It is unusual, but not impossible, that cases get thrown out at preliminary hearing. But if they do, the prosecution always has the option to refile them. So this is not a mini trial. This is a facial showing of what evidence the prosecution has. And it's the defense's first opportunity to cross-examine some of those witnesses and make sure that the prosecution is putting in evidence, and to see the way that the prosecution is going to put in that evidence. I imagine that this case is going to be heavily based on digital evidence, and we'll probably see a lot of that at the preliminary hearing. To answer the question you're all going to ask, Emily, will this be televised? No. Judge Olmedo has already said that because of the nature of some of the additional charges to the murder charge, including the ongoing sexual abuse of a minor, this case will not be televised. The courtroom will be open, but I imagine a lot of the evidence that may be shown to the court during the preliminary hearing will be sealed, meaning it will be submitted to the court. It will not be on screens in court. It will not be for view of the public, which is appropriate given the types of evidence we might see and what the charges are that that evidence supports. So yes, the courtroom will be open to the public. No, it will not be televised. No, there will not be cameras in the courtroom for the David case throughout this case and through trial. So what will happen at the preliminary hearing? Well, I expect that the case will get held over for trial, and then they will start picking trial dates. And after that, the prosecutors will then have their special circumstances committee hearing and decide whether they are pursuing this case as life without the possibility of parole or as a death penalty case. And yes, they can still pursue the death penalty, though there's a moratorium in California on that being carried out. It is still law on the books in California, and the prosecutors can still pursue this case as a death penalty case if they choose to. That decision has not been made yet. Also, possibly related to the David case, we started hearing at the end of the week, last week, that there is an investigation going on at the LA County Coroner's Office. We're going to take a look at that real quick. This is also coming from reporting from Los Angeles Magazine, and I started seeing rumblings of this at the end of last week, that more than a dozen employees of the Los Angeles County Department of the Medical Examiner, the Coroner's Office, are reportedly under investigation after graphic details from the homicide investigation into 14-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez were leaked in past media reports before the official autopsy report was made public. Remember, in this case, law enforcement very early on moved to seal the autopsy report even before the autopsy report was done. And I was critical of reports talking about whether or not Celeste had been dismembered in any way and the state of her remains. But there were reports floating out there well before anything came out from the coroner's office. And in fact, the coroner's office pushed back pretty heavily on LAPD for sealing everything. The coroner's office put out numerous statements that I covered saying this is not how we do things. We do not seal things. Though when we have a minor victim, I am less critical of sealing things, especially before anyone is charged with a crime.
Ooh. Thoughts? You said, hold up. You said, I can understand no cameras due to the nature of the case, the special circumstances in part. I just think that the cameras is fine, but the public, like only 10 seats and no overflow room. They should have allowed like an overflow room or something. If not having cameras in the courtroom, I'm so sad about that. Yeah, but like, I don't know, man. All right, Storm, I'll check it out. You said, how can there not be enough to be bound for trial? I think that that's what they're going to look at. I mean, I think one can assume, I could be wrong. Listen, I don't know. I'm not an expert, but I'm thinking that if you have a minor in this situation, right? Like there should be something to be said about that. Yeah. Yeah. Anyways.
Because for a while, LAPD was saying, look, we need to make sure that we are dealing with a homicide case versus dealing with potentially an accidental death and then a after the fact crime like disposing of a body, etc. So there was restraint, I think, on the part of law enforcement, and there was some pushback on the part of the coroner's office. And now there is an investigation into the coroner's office, which is unusual. Reporting goes on to say that according to NBC4 Los Angeles, investigators and administrative staff have been ordered to participate in recorded interviews as part of an internal probe into whether they accessed confidential law enforcement investigative files without permission. All access to computers are going to be logged. Like you're going to have to log in with a number that tracks what you're accessing.
Yep.
So I imagine that's already been pulled, and they can see that there's digital access that there should not have been.
At least 12 people went into whatever, access profile and stuff like that. I'm assuming the system is available for the people that need it there, right? And they interact with it, interface with it. And one login is going to, like your login is going to be tracked, whether you're searching for Celeste or if you're searching for John Doe or something. It's going to be tracked no matter what. So if you went and you searched Celeste and you worked at the coroner's office and you weren't assigned to that was not your case. You probably shouldn't have Shouldn't have done that.
Because yes, the coroner will have access to police reports, but that does not mean everyone at the office can just pull the police reports in a given case because they're curious. That is outside the boundaries of what they are allowed to do. The coroner directly working on the case, yes. Everybody else, no. They go on to report that throughout the course of the Rivas Hernandez investigation and prior to the singer being arrested, there were leaks and speculation via the media that the teen's body may have been frozen, decapitated, or other sordid details. Multiple sources familiar with the matter stated that the investigation is being conducted by the LA County Department of Human Resources. I bet this started with IT, though. They say that the medical examiner's department declined to comment on the reported investigation as it's ongoing. Any internal investigation is going to say the same thing. They go on to say, if confirmed, the medical examiner personnel investigation would be separate from the criminal prosecution against David Burke and is focused on whether confidential records were improperly accessed or viewed by county employees. No employees have publicly been accused of leaking information, and the reported probe remains ongoing. I'm interested to see where this goes. The big question will be, well, if there was impropriety in looking at documents that somebody shouldn't have been looking at, can this impact the prosecution against David? Lawyer Emily says it depends. However, if it is the coroner that's testifying, because generally the only person from the coroner's office that would be testifying would be the coroner.
Here's my question. Is this going to come up at the preliminary hearing? That's the question that I have. Is this going to be a thing that they say or use at the preliminary hearing?
The coroner themselves has access to law enforcement files. That's proper. We have seen that in case after case where law enforcement provides the police report to the coroners. Sometimes they look at it, sometimes they don't. They use it in different ways depending on the situation, the case, and who the coroner is. So the coroner doing the autopsy is allowed to access those things. It is someone not working on the case accessing documents and then leaking them to the media that seems to be at the heart of this consideration. So will this undermine the testimony of the coroner doing?
But it's not the first time, right? Like this has been happening in many cases. Many cases. It's not the first time.
The autopsy, likely not, unless that person was the leak to media. And then you can see defense questioning, perhaps, if that is the case. This would all be vetted at 402s before this ever came in front of a jury. But why would you leak that to the media? Did you want to push for an arrest of David? Did you rule this case a homicide versus an accident because you wanted to push forth a prosecution? You could see those things coming up in cross-examination if the person doing the autopsy and testifying was the one who leaked it, which we do not know. And I would suspect that it wasn't, because the coroner doing the autopsy knows how critical going to court is. So I'm curious to see how this plays out. But what we don't need is people accessing records that they're not authorized to do because they're curious. And we've seen investigations like this in other cases, but not from the coroner's office. So I'll keep you posted. Leonard, a quick break to thank today's sponsor, Honeylove.
Shout out to Emily D. Baker. Great breakdown. Shout out to her. Amazing, amazing breakdown that she does. You said people keep acting like this case will be completely dismissed because that's not, I don't know who's at Fire Rabbit. Who? People are saying that this case I don't think so. I'm like, really? It's interesting. Highly doubt that that's going to be the case. Overall, let me see what you guys are saying. D4VD team is definitely in the Reddit and did some weird stuff to the Spotify and then claim it was hacked. They're going to claim that the internet history can't be verified, muddying the waters. Ooh, no, you said no more TMZ insiders. Oh, there's that. I know, but it's like, Annie, you have to kind of wonder who. It's not the first case. This is why, it's coming to our attention, but it's not the first case that this has happened, right? So let's be very clear. I am kind of curious to know, right? So if you guys remember, some of the news that broke during the week too was that grand jury information. If you guys remember too, TMZ had the people in the grand jury and the secret grand jury, and they met 17 times, or I don't think it was 7 occasions. I think it was, did we estimate 17 times? Anyways, we're going to play this real quick and give some commentary. Now, let me shout out A Girl. Thank you so much. Greek lady, thank you, thank you, thank you. Lois, thank you so much for the jewels. I appreciate it. A girl, thank you again. Sorry, I'm just reviewing it. It's so hard to tell. Jane Foster, thank you, thank you. I wish they made this print a little bit bigger. Let's see, y'all. Oh my God, I'm having to go all the way up to the chat. You guys are crazy in this chat, man. Hold up, let me check. Let me check. Okay, I think I don't know if I missed anybody. I do apologize if I missed you. Just note that I'm having a hard time seeing what jewel and what isn't. This is not very well sorted, if that makes sense. MJ, thank you so much for the jewels. I appreciate it. Okay, I did see MJ. And is it MJ Lee? Thank you again for the jewels. All right, let's keep going with this commentary. And listen to the frozen, not frozen. Now, they haven't addressed the frozen anymore. I find that to be very interesting. I'm just saying.
She incurred the wrath of the prosecutor, Beth Silverman.
I did. She did not like that I was present.
She heard.
Wait. The TMZ insider incurred the wrath of Beth Silverman. The girl, look at the girls on the. Oh my God, hold up. I had never seen this before.
Murder of Celeste Rivas. He is charged with her murder, but there is something bizarre about this case that nobody we've spoken to can explain.
Right. The fact that that prosecutors tried to get an indictment against him and
Not necessarily, Charles.
well, they convened grand jury. Now, we knew that they had convened a grand jury as far back as November.
Right.
And we knew that the grand jury had continued to convene.
Well, actually, it was the LA Times that put the info up. The reason why we knew is because they broke the news, and then we talked about it on YouTube. While they were live, I still remember that November live stream, y'all. We were live when they were talking about it. They were live when they were talking about it, and then I went live, and that news just, I don't know, it just, something told me to go check the internet. And sure enough, the article from the grand jury dropped, and it was the LA Times that sent it out. So really, it was the LA Times who put it out there. They knew, and then they did their video.
Some number of times, obviously they're secret, so we didn't know exactly. But now, because the transcripts of those grand juries have to be released to the prosecutors and to David's defense team, we know that they met several times in November, December, and then again in February, multiple days each time.
We should point over to Alexa right there because
that's Charlie.
That's Charlie.
That's Charlie,
Where's
not Alexa.
Where's Alexa?
Wow,
Where'd she go?
She's over here. Yeah.
Oh, there you are.
Yes.
Alexa,
who was down there almost
Alexa
every
right here.
time.
Not only was down there, but she incurred the wrath of the prosecutor, Beth Silverman.
I did. She did not like that I was present.
And she heard some of the witnesses, and Beth Silverman was aggressive with some of the witnesses.
It seems like it's just she like pushed David's manager to try to answer, why he didn't say anything or come forward.
So here's the deal, though.
That's where that article came from, the Morgan Roth, right?
This, we're told, was an investigative grand jury as opposed to a grand jury that would indict. But it's not making a lot of sense. It's not making sense to me. It's not making sense to people I've talked to connected with the case, that if you're going to go to the grand jury, why not get an indictment? Because the advantage is you don't have to have a preliminary hearing. You go right to trial. So they could have avoided doing a test run in front of the defense and just gotten an indictment, which is easy to get.
Yeah.
And yet,
normally we say that it's very simple. What's the lawyers? What's the lawyers'
Investigative grand juries are important too because you have subpoenaing power and you can compel witnesses and compel evidence. But
you ever see a Doublemint commercial on TV? Two gums in one?
Yeah.
Well, that's what you could do with a grand jury. It could be investigative and indicting at the same time.
Yeah.
So you investigate and then you get an indictment.
We didn't need the gum metaphor for that.
Yeah, I don't know why you could go back to a 1970s TV commercial.
60s.
But you're right. They could have done it that way, and it's odd they didn't. By the way, just because you lose the grand jury once, you can bring additional information, additional evidence up. You can do it. It's odd they didn't take at least one bite at the apple.
Unless there's a weakness. And that's one of the questions. Is there a weakness in this case?
I don't know why. Let me stop because I'm going to say it's going to sound so wrong. No, I plead the fifth. I don't think so. No. What was I? Let me stop. All right, let me go ahead and play this.
Something happened a month and a half ago or so that I cannot get over. That they were supposed to, they were setting up the date for the grand jury, and the prosecution submitted a brief in support of the preliminary hearing. Aside from racketeering cases, I've never seen this in my entire career.
Because the brief was essentially them laying out their case, laying out.
But you don't need a brief for a preliminary hearing.
No,
you just call the witnesses.
Because that's what the preliminary hearing is going to be.
That's what it is.
But they put it
There
all
is
in this
something
brief.
going on.
It was a press release.
The brief was a press release. The brief that we read, the one that gave out all the details, right? Was that a press release? I mean, he's saying this is very rare to have something like this happen. Why did they do a brief? Okay. And then it made it public too.
It was a press release.
Read like it.
And it was a press release because at the time that there were people questioning some of the circumstances, and they wanted to lay out why they said David was a murderer. And I've never seen this. And the only thing I could think of is they did this specifically to tell the public David's the murderer.
So was this their way of saying, look, we do have a case. We do have a case.
Well,
because we couldn't convince the grand jury.
Nathan Hochman, the DA, ran on a law and order platform, and he has been he's in front of the microphones at every opportunity he gets, especially in high profile cases. So maybe this is just another effort to sort of get the position of the DA out there more strongly.
But what's going on here that they don't get an indictment before the grand jury? They're issuing press releases. It's just, there's something weird about this case.
Even in the memorandum that they put out, the brief, which was not brief at all, there's one gaping hole in all the evidence that they did lay out. Is they don't know, or at least they didn't say, what happened when she arrives at the house. Right. There's an assumption, a leap made that
killed her.
They say David killed her within seconds of her entering.
That he was lying in wait.
Right.
That she was going to break up with him. She was going to ruin his career.
Because they have that in text.
She was going to ruin his career. But he says, "Come over to the house." She comes over and is
orders a car to bring her.
In order to get an indictment, you don't need that kind of granular evidence.
That would be enough. You would think.
You have enough. You've got the fact that her chopped up body was found in his car, and you've got all this other.
So why not just get?
It seems to me, unless to your point, unless there's a real weakness we don't know about, it seems to me an open and shut case for indictment, not a conviction,
right? But for an indictment, and yet that's not what happened.
So the question.
Ooh, okay.
Question: Why?
Hi, I'm just Shayla.
The question is why? Why did the DA do this? Why did they move forward the way that they did? Why? I'm curious how many of us in the chat want D to get the DP or prefer him to do time in prison. I don't know. That's a great question. I mean, I guess chat, what do y'all think? I mean, I don't know. The girls are fighting. The girls are debating. That's what they are. The girls are debating. That's what they are doing. Yeah, Greek, I was thinking about this too. I was wondering, you said, we don't know how they linked the evidence to David exactly. Are we going to find this out at the preliminary? First Liberties, do you think, like Harvey said, is it weird that they did this brief and then they made this brief public so that the public understands? Was this brief for the public or was this brief for the court or for the family? What was this brief for? Who was this brief to? Because I think Harvey makes a compelling point here. I'm not going to lie. Like, I feel like it's interesting. He's like, out of all the cases I've seen, you've never seen anything like this, where it's like they're doing a brief before this. Like, I don't, why do all this? I don't know. Anyways, let's keep going. Okay.
Portland, and this case has been a whirlwind since Celeste was first found in his Tesla last year. I'm not an attorney or even a judge for that matter, but the fact that jurors have been convened 7 times indicates to me that there's more information that the public knows right now, a lot more information, and we are only barely scratching the surface. And whether this does go to an official trial or not.
Was it 7 times or 17 times? Why did I say 7? Why am I thinking it's 17 times? Am I making that up? The number 17 is in my head.
hope this means that they're turning over every leaf possible, and finally we'll be left with more answers than questions.
Yeah, right now there are a lot of questions, but we will see how much evidence they put on in the preliminary hearing, because we don't know what they're going to do.
Right.
Is this going to be detailed? Is it just going to be cursory where they call a police officer to the stand? We don't know.
Damn.
Wow, what a finish to.
Thoughts and opinions? Let me know in the chat. You said I want him to get the DP. Okay. I'm torn because the D team seems like an easy way out compared to him suffering. I said, who was putting the pressure? Who was putting them under pressure? You said it's for the public because of the cameras. Knowing that they wouldn't have cameras in there, they did a brief. It's 17 times total, right? Maybe 17, maybe 7 occasions, 7 different occasions, but 17 different times. Because I'm like, 7 times. I felt like it was 17 times. I could be wrong, but hey, man, I don't know. I'm not I remember we were keeping track, and we talked a little bit about it. But yeah. So hold up. And let me see what else came up during before we move on to the tater tots. It's interesting. David's D4VD's conditions. This is David's conditions. Being held in segregation, single cell, escorted from his cell to his shower, which is allowed every other day. Only allowed to make phone calls on the days he can shower, get 3 hours of recreation time with fresh air per week, has no contact with other inmates during recreation, no access to TV, cannot have visitors at this time, reportedly has no money on his book right now. Ooh. Thoughts and opinions? Well, this is where he's at right now. I mean, that's, if he's found guilty, he won't be there permanently. That is interesting. You said, I just had a grilled PB&J. I've never had a grilled PB&J. That is interesting. What is a grilled PB&J? Never heard of that. I don't think I've ever grilled a PB&J. Do you just have like toasted bread with it or what? You said, and now tater tots, the Tater Brothers. The Tater Brothers. All right. We are going to move on, guys. So, of course, we will be live at the preliminary hearing. If anything new comes up tomorrow, we'll definitely talk about D4VD. And, because we got to prep for what could happen, what's going to happen. We'll be live streaming. Okay. So join us and, be here. We'll do our best to go all over the place on social media and see who's got the first information and whatnot. You guys know how we do. Okay. But let me shout out. Oh my gosh. See, y'all, I'm telling you, it's very hard to tell. Thank you for those that have gifted jewels. I don't know where are they? The prelim is on the 21st. We'll be live. Let's talk about these men that the news broke yesterday and the internet broke, I guess. I don't know why. Like, are we really? How about the Tate brothers? Oh my God. Every time I talk about these guys, I always listen. If you're a fan, shout out to you. I'm not. You might get upset with me because I don't, like 4 years ago when they were arrested. The people got mad. I'm like, listen, I don't. I'm sorry. I'm just not just like anybody else, right? If we're going to talk about Epstein, if we're going to talk about all these other people, we got to be able to talk about these individuals as well and keep the same energy. Okay. So please don't be upset with me, but these are just my opinions. Y'all are entitled to yours. Every time I talk about the Tate brothers, people get upset. I got the fans that come in here and, they come over here and they, want to defend. I'm like, cool, that's cute. I'm not. I'm just going to talk about the news, okay? Andrew Tate got arrested looking like he fell out of Chico's catalog. Hey, shout out to my mod, Chico. I haven't seen my mod. I got to message her to see if she's doing okay. Yeah, no way. I was just reading something on this. Yeah, yesterday the news hit. The news was newsing on this. And I know, like, I'm gonna do my best to at least break some things down, okay? Because I think people have asked some really good questions about, these individuals were like charged in Romania and nothing happened out of that. Like, why? That must mean they don't have anything on them. That's not the case, guys. That is not the case. So let's be very clear. So this is what we know about the Tate brothers in overall. The social media influencers facing are charges and trafficking charges. Okay, so these guys are brothers. You have Andrew and Tristan Tate, who were arrested Saturday in Miami after the UK prosecutors brought further R and S trafficking and other charges against them. And I think total, we said, was it 43? Somebody said it was 50, but I think it's like 43 charges overall. I could be wrong, but we'll get into that. Anyways, so influencer brothers, their brothers, were arrested Saturday in Miami after the UK prosecutor said that they brought further R and S trafficking charges against them. Now, the Britain's Crown Prosecution Service said that the new charges related to 4 further victims and were brought after authorities received evidence from the police in the southeast England. The charges include R, assault, trafficking, and offenses relating to indecent images of children in extreme prawn. Okay? And now y'all know I use code words because I have to be careful. The charges announced Saturday, which bring the total number of the alleged victims in the UK to 7, are the latest in a long-running international legal saga involving the brothers that has spanned the U.S., Britain, and Romania. The brothers have denied wrongdoing. They're always denying. Like, there is videos out there. There's videos out there. There's people speaking out. Like, there's videos out there. There's women that have been branded with a Tate tattoo. Okay. Anyway, so who the brothers are, for those that don't know, all right? And let me make sure I got to show a picture because this is not really showing pictures here. But let's go ahead and show you all a pictures. I mean, they think that they are the hottest looking thing that ever landed. I'm sorry, y'all. Like, no. I don't subscribe. I don't support. They really think that they're hot shit. I'll never forget. There's an interview, and I'm like, and you're dumb too. Sorry. I mean, look. They did an interview with Candace Owens, okay, and I'm sitting here, and I'm like, there's something really wrong here. Are we trying to change the age of consent, or what are we doing here? Yeah, please show. Oh my God, Didi, why is that guy wearing like high waters? I don't know about y'all, but I like my men with longer pants. If the husband is walking out here with crotch riding, skinny jean high, I know that skinny jeans was a fad back in, like, I don't know, 2016, 10 years ago, where it was like you had the girls, the girls is one thing. Okay, you're skinny jeans. Now you got the men's wearing skinny jeans. Like let me show y'all. I mean, the outfit. Was it Andrew Tate's pants? I mean, I like them. Please note that a lot of women that I know, okay, they like their men to wear, look at this. What in the capris? The capris are out. Capris have been out for years. Why are we wearing capris? What in the hell is that? I'd be like, sir, I know you got to take him. Can I help him? Can I please, like, I got to get him a new pair of jeans because this is not working. And it's interesting, right? Because these are the men, these men's are very, they're the misogyny of misogyny, right? Like, let's talk about that. Aren't they like, what do they call it? The red pill? The red pill. They want to tell about how, what women should do. being submissive and yada, yada, yada. Lord have mercy. Look. I'm peeing in my pants. But like literally, I remember I had a pair of capris when I was in middle school. I haven't worn capris since I was in middle school. I went to Burlington Coat Factory and they were selling capris. And mind you, we were poor. Like, they were on sale. Like, I don't know, like $3 or something like that for a pair of capris. This man is wearing capris while he's being arrested. Please tell me what is sexy about this shit. I want to give him a pair of pants before they take him away. I cannot. Tell me, what are we seeing here? I got to get a drink of water. Anyways, you said Andrew trying to bring the capris back, the men capris. If I put it on listen, no shade, all right? If my men's wear capris, shout out to y'all. They're not. It's not. I mean, look at that hot looking cop though over there. I will say the guy with the dreads. Oh my gosh. Speaking of hot, like now that guy caught my. Look at that. Look at that. Hold up. Let's see. Oh my goodness.
Back up. Back up.
Oh my God. I love it. That is insane.
Tristan, anything to say?
Nope. This is it. Like, look, what do you, anyways, let me stop. You said my cousin wears a capris, but he's not into women. Well, there you go. Jessica's like, my cousin wears capris, but he ain't into women. Anyways, I know, like the cops are like, ooh, you can arrest me anytime. It is scientifically impossible to wear skinny jeans and sag. How was that happening? I don't know. Yeah, those are some eye candy marshals. I will say that. I love me a good looking marshal. Okay. Shout out to the marshals. All right. So let's get into this. Okay. Y'all, shout out. Y'all control yourselves in the chat. Okay. I'm going to control myself over here. Anyways, so Andrew Tate, who is 39, and Tristan Tate, 38, are dual U.S. British citizens known for their social media empire promoting wealth, male dominance, I can't even say it, and misogyny. Ooh. Andrew Tate is a former professional kickboxer and self-described misogynist who has amassed more than 10 million followers. And that's the thing, is like he's got a lot of followers, most of them boys and young men on X. Listen, I just hope that they don't wear capris. That's all. He has been banned from platforms like YouTube, TikTok, Instagram for violating hate speech and guidelines. He also runs an online academy where he says he teaches young men how to get rich and attract women. Yeah. Tristan Tate is also a former kickboxer. The brothers are avid supporters of the president. What the Tates are charged with. So Andrew Tate and his brother have faced multiple charges in the UK and Romania. This Romania stuff, like he's literally, and this is the part that people really need to slow the F down, because people think that these men have been able to, like it's forgotten. No, the only holdup that's been in Romania has been all procedural. This is why the thumbnail says like, it's all about process. It's all about procedures, like literally. So anyways, so Tate and his brother have faced multiple charges in the UK and Romania, where they moved to in 2016. So British prosecutors said that the new charges related to his alleged offenses took place between 2010 and 2017. They said that Andrew Tate was charged with 7 further counts of R-ing, 3 counts of arranging or facilitating trafficking for sexual exploitation, 3 counts of assault, and 19 charges for offenses related to indecent images of a child and extreme prom. What? I don't even stop, because to me, any child prawn is extreme. But when I hear extreme prom, Like, as opposed to what? Like, what would be the comparison? Any child prom is, y'all know what I mean. Any material is extreme. Tristan Tate was charged with 1 count of SA, 2 counts of R, and 3 counts of arranging or facilitating as trafficking. The Crown Prosecution Service said in a statement it has requested the extradition of the Tates from the U.S. So they have been watching these guys, because my understanding is that they were refusing to go to the UK to handle the whole legal stuff. They were refusing to step foot there, right? So what they do? Well, they were like, well, hold up, I can keep playing this while I'm talking. They essentially, were avoiding to step foot over there, but they flew into the US. So there you go. I mean, they can extradite him from the US to the UK. I'm assuming that's how they're going to do it, right? So the Crown Prosecution Service said in a statement it has requested the extradition of the Tates from the U.S. They have been arrested and await extradition proceedings to the U.K. The Tates already face previous charges of R-ing, bodily harm, human trafficking, and controlling prostitutions for gain related to 3 other alleged victims in the UK between 2012 and 2015. In June, a UK High Court judge threw out a legal bid by the Tates the Tates to be told the names of their accusers. Okay. And I would be a little worried too, because of their 10 millions of followers. These 10 million young men that wear capri pants. Listen, pants that tight, for y'all know, if your pants are way too tight, you could be getting some infections down there too. You got to be careful with pants that tight, capris that tight. You have to be careful, because people be getting like infections and stuff like that. So anyways, so let's keep going. In Romania, the siblings were arrested in late 2022 along with 2 Romanian women. The 4 were accused of participating in criminal schemes to lure women for sexual exploitation. They denied those allegations, and the Romanian case hasn't gone forward because of the legal and procedural problems. The case hasn't been closed, and there is also a legal case against the brothers in Romania. Andrew Tate has repeatedly claimed that the prosecutions in Romania have no evidence against him. Yes, he has. He's gotten to so many platforms. Y'all do not do your homework. These men, it's all been a procedural holdup. These men are not, it's been all procedural, okay? Truly. I mean, they go online, they've been platform all over, and they push this agenda, and it's like, what are you doing? And then you want to speak out against Jeffrey Epstein? Are you sure about that? Huh? The case hasn't been closed, and there's also a separate legal case against the brothers in Romania. Andrew Tate, again, repeatedly claims that there's no evidence and that there is a political conspiracy. It's always a political conspiracy, man. It's always, and I'm not saying that they don't exist. Please note that, but who... Take the money away, and what the hell do you have? Nothing. Take all the money, take all the wealth away, and what do you have? Nothing. You have nothing, nada. Okay? Yes, bring back the MC Hammer trousers. I would rather he be arrested wearing MC Hammer pants than anything. Okay? That's what I got to say about that. People, you know what I mean? Like, where the MC Hammer pants? Sorry about that. Let me make sure that. Okay. You said people only know them because of their scandals. That's right. Hold up. And they're not political people, but here's the thing though. Soul Power Tarot. Isn't it, y'all, we should learn. Take a page out of this. We've been learning this. We know this, that people like this, criminals, align themselves to political figures when it suits them. Let me give you an example. Okay. I did a video. Y'all didn't read between the lines. Some of y'all did, but some people didn't. I did an R. Kelly video. Okay. What did R. Kelly's attorney say? Who is he appealing to in order to get his sentence shortened? He's appealing to who? Trump. People that face these kinds of accusations, it is textbook. They always align themselves with some political conspiracy bullshit because they're trying to get out of what? Jail, prosecution. That's what it is. Wake the fuck up. Look at how it works. Truly, every time it is always, they've always done that. Even if they don't believe in any of the conspiracy, political stuff, they'll align themselves to benefit from it. Okay? Because that's where they feel like they can take a bite out of the apple. And honestly, I mean, I don't blame them. I guess that's strategy. I don't know. Anyways, you said, I think the Romania got a bribe or something. They let them go. I doubt that they even still working with the case. No, the case is still very active, Harlot. It is. It's all procedural, though. Now, whether they've been bribed, I mean, I don't know, man. Because people do be bribing the people. I don't know. If it's not political, it's racially motivated, says the media. Well, for me, this is the thing, is like, just by observation, y'all ever notice how often when they're trying to get any kind of pardon or anything, and it's always like I mean, when I read R. Kelly's lawyer's statement, it's this political party that's doing this to me. I'm a victim of this. I'm like, R. Kelly, what the hell are you talking about? First of all, I'm not saying that the parents of these victims, they're not shitty. Don't get me wrong. But like, let's not act like people didn't help and look the blind eye and looked away and do all this other stuff to get where they needed to be at. That we bypass all this other stuff. We do. So it's just like these people, that's what they do. They align themselves with the political party every time it suits them. And I don't mean like suit, like you wear a suit, but look like this guy right here. He can no socks and no suits. I don't know. Anyways, well, he wasn't arrested for the fashion police, but of course he's going to make his bid. He's going to do what he's going to do. So this is how the extradition process works, just so people understand. All right. Again, this is what Andrew Tate, that they continuously said that there's no evidence. There's no evidence. I believe that there is. I believe that a lot of this is very public. I believe that people are willfully not looking at the information and they're wanting to ignore. I mean, you got the people that say, well, what was that one lady, man? I hate saying her name, even though she was right about Chris Cuomo. Let me not bring her up because I know I got some fans of that lady. I cannot. Anyways, so how the extradition process works or could work. So the brothers are expected to appear this week in a U.S. federal court where the judge will make an initial determination about whether they meet the conditions for extradition. So is that going to be the Southern District of New York? Seems like that's where they get everything, right? If they do, or it could be Miami, right? Anyways, if they do, they are unlikely to get bail, which is rarely granted to those held for international extradition. The decision about whether to order the extradition will then fall to the U.S. Secretary of State, Marco Rubio. Girl. That little short man, too. Let me stop. While the State Department has some discretion to deny extradition requests from the UK, it has granted nearly every British request since ratifying a strengthening extradition treaty in 2017. If there's an issue about extradition, y'all be looking at Rubio, okay? Look at Rubio, all right? Little Marco, who forgot where the hell he came from. That guy. Yeah, little Marco. That one, okay? Let's keep going. One exception came during Trump's first term, and then the U.S. declined an extradition request for the wife of former American diplomat involved in a fatal crash in England, citing diplomatic immunity. The rejection prompted an international outcry. Yo, will they be extradited? Will they be extradited? That is the question. That's what I want to know. That's the question. Will they be extradited? Why the Tates were in the U.S. anyways. Yeah, why are they here? We don't want them. We don't want them here. We don't like you. British police previously sought the Tate's extradition to the U.S. once their legal proceedings in Romania concluded. But in February 2025, they were allowed to leave Romania after authorities lifted travel restrictions, and they flew to Florida on a private jet. Of course, it had to be a private jet. Romania foreign minister said at the time that a U.S. official in the Trump administration had expressed interest in the brothers' legal case in Romania. Trump said he knew nothing about the case, bitch, all the time. I don't know anything. I know nothing about the case. I don't know who Epstein is. Who is that? Who is that? Selective amnesia. It's selective amnesia. The case, when asked if this administration's pressured the Romanian government to release the Tates. Girl, anyways, so y'all know how I really feel now. I'm like, listen, great news. And if they don't get extradited, y'all know why. Okay. Because I can't imagine having so many victims and not being able to extradite them. And to be very clear, like I was looking at I was doing some notes about this, what happened 4 years ago with the Tate brothers. So what I was able to find, because I was going to do, and I'm going to do a short video probably on this too. So there was evidence that was ruled inadmissible in December 2025. A Romanian appeals court ruled that the case could not go to trial yet. So this was in not 2025, December of 2024 in Romania. The judge ordered prosecutors to remove a key evidence, including statements from Tate brothers and 2 alleged victims, citing significant procedural flaws. So judicial controls were completely lifted. So because prosecutors failed to move forward due to these legal irregularities, again, all procedural, the court officially lifted all of the brothers' travel restrictions and police check-ins in April of 2026. So it wasn't they were allowed and continue to travel. That's what they've been allowed to do this because these restrictions were lifted. So while the Romanian case stalled, British authorities aggressively expanded their own investigation. So the UK Crown Prosecution Service recently issued 38 new criminal charges against the brothers, including 7 counts of RAing, trafficking, and possession of indecent images of a child, bringing their total count to 50. People are saying it's 50, but I'm seeing it's 59 charges. Total number of UK charges to 59. I would like to see Mr. Rubio, Mr. Mark Rubio, not move forward with this. I would like to understand. I'm confusional on this, okay? After their travel bans were lifted, the brothers left Romania over the weekend on July 18, 2026. Federal authorities and the U.S. Marshals arrested both Tate and Andrew and Tristan in Miami, Florida, on a sealed warrant. So we don't know what the warrant looks like. They're currently awaiting U.S. extradition proceedings to face these expanded charges back in the UK. So again, there has been massive delays in the Romanian case. A lot of it has been all procedural and also just international legal battles with the U.S. and the United Kingdom. Okay, so there's been different things and whatnot, just so people are aware. But this has been an ongoing thing and whatnot. So just so people are aware that they've been watching them, allow them to travel, and then go to the country that is willing to extradite. That is what you have to do. You said he's been willing to, he's been talking about it and hasn't been. I don't know, man. And let me just say this: like, I don't claim to be part of any kind of group. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, I feel like claiming to be this and that and the other. These groups are so flawed. It's better to call stuff like this out than to act like these flaws don't exist in various groups. I mean, it's all very much self-serving sometimes, I believe. Oh, is this the full? Look at this. This is the full arrest when they arrived right there. So I just don't be, I'm all for equality for all. I can't do the groups. I really can't. Ooh. This is when they took off.
Mr. Tate, would you mind signing?
Tate.
Hey Tate, look at this. All undercover, all everything. Look at this. I love it. Look at their faces.
Come over here by me. Let's go. Come over here by me.
Back up. Back up. Guys, back up.
Lord have mercy.
You'll be able to pull it up some sort of. You gotta give us a minute. Okay.
Get the jewelry.
Guys, wait. Wait.
Okay.
I'm here for it. I wish I was there when all this went down. Let's see. Andrew Tate is facing extradition to the UK for charges. Let's see if it happens, man, because I'm telling you, I wonder about this. I wonder what little Rubio's gonna do.
The girl you start with is the most important girl. My first girl was so good, it was easy. So, Vivian here.
If you're new in this channel, I'm a cam model, and webcaming is what I do.
That's how it started. I met Vivian in Slovakia.
I'm from Slovakia.
We had a long-term relationship thing. I was living in England. I moved her to England to be with me, to start doing my webcam company. She's completely head over heels in love with me. She wants kids with me, everything. And we met and we fell, whatever, we're in love.
I have lived with Andrew for years and years.
So Vivian's been with me 6 years.
So he's been with Vivian for 6 years, right?
Vivian's like 21.
Vivian's 21. And at this point, he's been a girlfriend for 6 years.
Vivian's younger.
I mean,
Vivian's younger. Ooh, like how? Like how younger? Like underage younger? Interesting. You know what, Barbara Bish? Yes, arrest the stylist too. Andrew Tate, that stylist should have gone with him. Yeah, y'all see that? What? See, but people ignore this.
The British state has accused me
that they met when she was 15 years old.
Yes, the woman he has been up, it was nothing but a sex play, consensual.
My friend, take a look. Show everyone how pretty you are. Get on your knees and show everyone how pretty you are.
Oh, I've got to like, hold up. I got to be careful. Yep, property tat, just so people are aware.
Been camming for last 4 years, next year is the 5th year. And I currently live in Bucharest, Romania.
Police have raided Andrew Tate's home in Romania, investigating allegations of human trafficking, the trafficking of minors.
Coming from somebody who lived with him for years, he is not a human trafficker.
I've got my main bitch, my bottom bitch, Vivian. I moved her to England to be with me to start doing my webcam company, which I started. If you don't have a webcam company, you need to look into it, because as soon as you have a couple girls in love with you, it's the fucking easiest money in the world. No, I take that back. It's not easy money. You got to build it up. But once you get girls built up, then it's free money.
You have a crime. They said 15 years ago I did something I wasn't supposed to do and I'm a criminal. But they won't tell me who against. They won't tell me where it happened. They won't tell me when it happened. They just said 15 years ago you did a crime. And I said, okay, against who? We're not telling you in case you tweet it. Why would I tweet it? What are you talking about?
Because you would.
Tell me who I committed this crime against so I can defend
Because you would.
myself. Nope. We're not going to let you defend yourself. You're accused of a crime. You're charged with a crime. We won't tell you who against. And I said, well, then how do I put a defense together? And they said, well, if you come to England, we'll tell you. I said, sure, I'll come to England. No problem. All I want to know is, can you guarantee I will not be remanded in custody? They said, no, we're not going to guarantee you that. If you come to England, there's a strong chance you're going to go to Belmarsh, remanded in custody for years, pre-trial. And I'm like, so you are accusing me of a crime. You've issued a warrant. You won't tell me who the crime was committed against, if they even exist, because they don't. These are made-up victims, completely made up. They have people hiding behind anonymity and just attacking me, demanding millions of euros, millions of dollars for things that happened in 2009. Nobody's telling me what these things are. Nobody's telling me who these people are. Nobody's telling me when they happened, where they happened, nothing. And they're saying if I go to jail, they'll tell me, but I have to fly to England and put myself in jail. And I know you're wondering, how come when Britain, as it collapses, it doesn't give a fuck about grooming gangs, doesn't give a fuck about the stabbings, doesn't care about the drugs on the street, doesn't care about any of the real crime? How come they keep talking about Andrew Tate? That's because I highlight the problems with the country. They don't want to fix the problems. They want to get rid of me for talking about the problems.
Ooh, he is a table shaker. I told y'all, look at how these people, like these, they always make it about this. It is their get out of jail. It's what they do. They may not even be political. They don't give a fuck about the politics. They truly just do this on purpose. That's what it is. And they try to hide under that skirt. That's what it is.
So why do I get to travel the world so freely? Why have I been to 25 countries this year? Because when I land in Hong Kong and the British government call the authorities and say, we need Andrew Tate, we have a warrant, the authorities say, well, what's the warrant for? And who's it against? And the British state says, we don't want to tell you who the victims are. The victims don't exist, so no country will extradite me. So I'm traveling the world completely free. No country respects England anymore. Nobody's sending me to them. I'm living as a free man. They keep putting on the BBC that they want to get hold of me. And I'm saying, tell me who my accuser is. And I'll.
So why don't you just fly to the UK? Why? Because he knows he'd be arrested.
Come talk to you. And they're like, no, because they've completely made it up. They've made it up to slander me in the media over and over and over again. Their intention is to just lie about me, lie about charges, lie about victims, lie, so that I don't support Rupert or I don't support Farage.
Man, he is such a victim, literally, I'm telling you. Anyways, yeah, so
The girl you start with is the
shout out to hopefully justice. You said don't you believe in POS? Yeah, I mean, he's a victim, man. It's all about that. And then furthermore, by the way, just so let me go right here, okay? Hold up.
And Tate. The brothers were arrested by federal officials in Miami yesterday after British authorities issued 38 new charges against them, including rape and human trafficking. Their lawyer says they're innocent and is calling the charges a, quote, political hit. Now, Andrew and Tristan Tate are awaiting extradition to the UK. Andrew Dimbert has the latest.
Andrew and Tristan Tate are back in custody. The controversial social media influencers were arrested Saturday night in Miami after British prosecutors announced a sweeping new case against the brothers and said they will seek their extradition to the UK. Prosecutors say the new indictment includes dozens of charges, including rape, sex trafficking, and offenses involving indecent images of a child, stemming from alleged crimes between 2010 and 2017 involving 7 alleged victims. The U.S. Marshals Service confirmed the brothers were taken into custody on a sealed warrant, and they're expected to appear in federal court in Miami as the extradition process moves forward. The Tate brothers have repeatedly denied any wrongdoing, with their attorney calling the latest case a politically motivated attack. The arrest comes.
You're not a politician. That's the thing. It's like, what do you mean? But okay, let people get bypassed. This is the shit that I'm talking about.
After years of legal troubles for the brothers in both Romania and the United Kingdom, even as Andrew Tate has continued to build a massive online following despite being banned from several major social media platforms. Ike?
All right, Andrew Dimbert, thank you.
All right. Well, yeah. Okay. Well, guys, let me know what you guys think. I mean, listen, maybe they are just these innocent victims that have been targeted because of their politics. You know, maybe that's what it is. Yes, you said we got our own pedophiles. We don't need to import them. Listen, I'm still on the pants. Like, Lord have mercy. They arrested him on capri pants. You said Brothers was in a black suit, gold jacket was just with them. Interesting. You said yes, and he thought he would be harbored and safe in the U.S. Go figure. Yeah, because they got lax. I mean, he was like, I'm fine. I'm not going to be arrested. Nothing's going to happen. No, they've been watching you. They knew the minute that you just had to go to a country that, you know, would use extradition. That, you know, extradition, extradite him. I can't even speak. Hold up, because I got somebody on my call phone. Hold up 1 second. Yeah, the male caprices alone is a crime. Hold up, guys. Yo, I'm like, I can't even say it. They thought they were untouchable. Yes. All right, guys. Well, clearly, Shelly, thank you again for the jewels. Sorry, guys. I can't see all the jewels. Let me see if I can get everybody. Hold up. There should be more here that I could shout out before I go. Thank you guys for watching. If you're watching the replay, hit the like button, hype, do all those good things that help the channel, please, and thank you. Let me see. Do I see anything else? Hold up. Man, I can't go up. Where's the... Oh, Greek lady, thank you again. Hold up. Let me see. Where else? Something about somebody else. Capris, y'all were laughing. Yada, yada, yada. Who? See, I need StreamYard to tell me. See, it's not even going up anymore. I've lost the chat. Okay. Thank you, guys. Thank you for supporting the channel. I appreciate it. Thank you. I will see you guys on the next one. Thank you, guys. You guys are amazing. You said, ooh, oh my God. You said he's still not definitely being extradited from the U.S. Oh man, we'll see. You don't think he'll be extradited? Both of them? Our constitutional rules still apply even under these circumstances. All right. I guess we'll see. Maybe they will be. I don't know, man. We'll see. All right. I'll see you guys on the next one. Hit the like button. Bye, guys. Bye, bye, bye. Bye, bye, bye. And shout out to Annika and Didi for gifting. Thank you, guys. Bye, guys.